Hello everybody, today back in another video. Alright, my tennis friends all around the world, we have the ATP Tour Finals in Turin coming. We're just a couple of hours away from that big blockbuster final between Novak Djokovic versus Jannik Sinner. A rematch from earlier this week we just saw where Jannik Sinner defeated Novak Djokovic 7-6 in the third and 7-2 in the third set tiebreak. So we got a rematch now between these two. Djokovic was almost eliminated, like we all know, if Sinner would have not defeated Holger Rune in his third round-robin stage match. But we all know what happened. Sinner defeated Holger Rune in 3 sets and gave Novak Djokovic another shot to the title. Will Sinner regret this? If he beats Novak, he will not regret it. I'm completely convinced about that. If he doesn't beat Novak, he will most likely regret it. Yes, I believe so. But Sinner is a champion. Sinner is a winner. He doesn't go on court to purposely lose or tank matches. He's not Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios can't do things like that. Casper Ruud can't do things like that, like Casper did last year against Rafa Nadal when he was already qualified for semi-finals when he faced Nadal in that third match, and he was not that interested in winning that match. You could obviously see that. Jannik Sinner is not that kind of a player. So, what do I believe about this final? Jannik Sinner has been really the man to beat the last couple of weeks, to be quite honest, my tennis friends all around the world. He has been playing some terrific tennis, and that has been the case even in this week in Turin. So he has won all of his matches, 3 matches in the round-robin stage. He won the semi-final match against Medvedev, and he defeated also Djokovic for the first time a couple of days ago in the round-robin stage. The head-to-head is 3-1 to Novak Djokovic, but that doesn't mean much. The head-to-head shows something in the matchup, but Medvedev was leading Sinner 6-love a couple of months ago, but Sinner has defeated Medvedev 3 consecutive matches in 2 months now. So Sinner has started to completely change that head-to-head in his favor. And Sinner also was 2-love down against Holger Rune in the head-to-head, and he defeated Rune for the first time in the group stages. And now also Sinner has defeated Novak Djokovic for the first time after being 3-love down in the head-to-head, but he clinched his first ever victory in the round-robin stages a couple of days ago. So even though Djokovic is leading Sinner 3-1 in the head-to-head, that doesn't mean much according to me. Sinner is a completely different player. He's playing his tennis of his life. Even Djokovic said it himself after he defeated Carlos Alcaraz. And Sinner, I've never seen Sinner play this good tennis. He's serving good, he's finding the spots, he's hitting his forehand really good, he's hitting his backhand unbelievably good. I've never seen Sinner hit his backhand as good as he has done these couple of weeks, these couple of months, especially this week here in Turin. He's playing in front of his home crowd. Like we know, he's Italian, and this ATP Tour Finals is played in Italy, in Turin. So he will have all the crowd on his side, but that is nothing new for Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic usually doesn't have the crowd on his side. So, and Sinner, of course, he respects Novak. He knows who Novak is. For God's sakes, Novak is the greatest tennis player of all time. But Sinner will believe that he can defeat Djokovic. Sinner will like his chances, and Djokovic, on the other hand, will get a rematch. Nobody has defeated Novak Djokovic, what I know, 2 times in the same week. I don't think that has ever happened. Sinner can be the first player to ever do this, to defeat Novak Djokovic 2 times in the same week. Djokovic, he needs to play better. Djokovic defeated Alcaraz, alright, in straight sets, 6-3, 6-2. But let's be honest, Alcaraz didn't do his match of his life. Alcaraz, he more or less defeated himself. Yeah, Djokovic did a rock-solid performance, absolutely, but Alcaraz, he did a lot of unfasteros. He didn't convert his break punch opportunities, which he had four of them, two in the first set, two in the second set, and he was 40-15 up in both of those two occasions. Didn't convert in any of them, and he played up and down tennis. He just played. He didn't do a great match. Yeah, Djokovic also made him look weak, but Djokovic played really good tennis. He played rock solid tennis, but Jannik Sinner will play a better match in the final than Alcaraz did in the semi-final. I'm pretty convinced about that. Jannik Sinner will not beat himself like Alcaraz more or less did. I'm not taking anything away from Djokovic. Absolutely not. Djokovic did his best performance against Alcaraz the entire week, but Alcaraz was also helping Djokovic look that invincible. This final tomorrow will be much more closer affair. Djokovic needs to play. He needs to play closer to the baseline than what he did in the group stage matches against Sinner. He needs to take more. He needs to be more in charge. He needs to be more. He cannot be passive like he was quite in the third set against Sinner, especially in that third set tiebreak where he tried to make Sinner out-hit himself, where he tried to make Sinner do a lot of unfasteros, which Sinner never did in that third set tiebreak. Djokovic needs to play more aggressive tennis against Jannik Sinner. He cannot give Jannik Sinner time, because if he gives Jannik Sinner time, Djokovic will be in big trouble. Jannik Sinner is hitting the ball really cleanly, both from both wings, forehand, backhand, and he's serving really good. He's returning exceptional. Djokovic needs to be really careful in not serve towards Jannik Sinner's forehand, because in that round robin match, Djokovic was serving a lot towards Jannik Sinner's forehand, and Jannik Sinner was blasting those returns and hitting deep returns, and sometimes hitting winners immediately. Djokovic's tactic will be serving more towards Jannik Sinner's backhand, I believe. Another tactic that Djokovic will have, I think Djokovic will try to make Jannik Sinner run. Is it a weakness that Jannik Sinner can have? He's not a speed demon on the court. Yeah, he's fast, but he's not as fast as Djokovic, even though Djokovic is 15 years older than Jannik Sinner, but he's not 15, but 14, I believe. 14. 14 years older than Jannik Sinner, but he's still maybe a little faster than Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner is not quite as fast as, say, Carlos Alcaraz. Absolutely not. So Djokovic will try to make Jannik Sinner run a lot from side to side, and Djokovic will, I believe, he will try to hit. He needs to have a great depth, because if you don't have depth against Jannik Sinner, you are toast. Jannik Sinner reminds me about a better version of Thomas Berdych. When you didn't have depth against Thomas Berdych, you were toast. But he's a much better version of Thomas Berdych, because Thomas Berdych had horrible returns. But Thomas Berdych, exactly like Jannik Sinner, he had unbelievable ground strokes from both wings, from both forehand and backhand. But Thomas Berdych's big issue and big Achilles heel was he had disasters of returns. That is not the case with Sinner. Sinner has superior returns. So Djokovic needs also to make sure to make a lot of first serves in, like he did against Carlos Alcaraz, where he landed 67% first serves in, which is a great number. Djokovic cannot be under 60% first serves in against Jannik Sinner, because if he's that, he will be really punished. He needs to play close to the baseline. He cannot be passive, and he also needs to be brave, because in that round robin match against Sinner, when Djokovic lost, he was passive in the third set, according to me. He didn't, especially towards the end of the third set, when he had some chances in Jannik Sinner's serve, when he had a 15-30 chance in that 5-all game, I believe, in the third set, or was it in the something like 5-all game, I believe it was, towards the end of the third set. He had chances to take the initiative, to be brave on the court, to play offensive tennis, he didn't do. He tried to make Jannik Sinner out-hit himself. He went in that goalkeeper mode and just tried to defend and tried to make Jannik Sinner do unprecedented, which Jannik Sinner didn't do. So Djokovic needs to be really careful in going in that goalkeeper mode against Jannik Sinner. He needs to play aggressive tennis. He needs to have depth on his shots. He needs to have a lot of first serves in. And of course, like always, Djokovic needs to take his chances, like he did against Carlos Alcaraz. He had 8 break match opportunities and he converts in 3 of them, which is 38% successful. So there you have the keys to Djokovic winning the match. Keys for Jannik Sinner, he needs to manage his nerve, because this will be Jannik Sinner's biggest match of his life. Djokovic has been in this scenario many times, because he's 36 years old and he has played many big matches and big finals in his career. Djokovic will be nervous as well. Of course, he's human, but I have a feeling that Jannik maybe will be more nervous, because this will be his biggest final of his life. And if that was not enough, it will be in front of his home crowd in his home country, Italy. So a big key for Jannik is how will he manage his nerve? How will he manage the pressure? Another big key for Jannik is he needs to be landing also a lot of first serves in. He landed 58% first serves in against Medvedev. I don't think that under 60% will be enough for Sinner to win this match on Sunday, because beating Djokovic in a round-robin match and beating Djokovic in a final is a completely different story. We have seen this story and this scenario before, where Federer defeated Djokovic in that 2015 round-robin match in straight sets in ATP Tour Finals, and then a couple of days later in the final, Djokovic defeated Federer and in the final. So Sinner will have even a bigger challenge in the final. So Sinner needs to be landing over 60% first serves in. He needs to be over 60%. He cannot be under 60%. I will even say that Sinner needs to be over 65% first serves in. Because Djokovic in that match against Sinner in the round-robin stage, he was good. He was not bad, because after all, Djokovic is the player who has pushed Jannik Sinner the most of all the 4 players that has lost against Jannik Sinner in these ATP Tour Finals. He is the player who has pushed Jannik Sinner the most. He has taken him to a third set tiebreak. Nobody of the other 4 dudes has done that. They have all lost before the tiebreak in the third set or in straight sets, like Tsitsipas did in the first match that Jannik Sinner had in this tournament. So Djokovic is the player who has pushed Jannik Sinner the most. So, and Jannik Sinner, to have chances to beat Djokovic in the final, he needs to be landing over 65% first serves in. He cannot be under 60% like he was against Medvedev. It was enough against Medvedev in winning the match with 58% first serves in, but it will not be enough against Djokovic, because Djokovic is a better tennis player than Daniil Medvedev. Another key thing for Sinner is he needs to win. He needs to do damage behind his serve. That is always a big key in tennis. He needs to do damage on the 3rd shot, 5th shot, or 7th shot, like the diamond shots of tennis. He cannot do a bad match there, like Alcaraz did, for instance, in the semifinal. Alcaraz did a disaster match in the serve plus game. Alcaraz was landing a lot of first serves in the match against Djokovic in the semifinal, 84% first serves in, but he was doing a terrible job in putting away the balls with success after he was landing the first serve, which you can see in the stats, where Alcaraz only won 62% of behind his first serve. So Sinner needs to do a better job there than Alcaraz did. He needs to do a great serve plus match. Another key for Sinner is he needs to take his chances, like always in tennis. When he gets break match opportunities, which he will get, because he's such a good returner that he will create break match opportunities, he needs to convert. Something that Alcaraz didn't do in his semi-final match against Djokovic. He created 4 break match opportunities. Alcaraz 2 in the first set, 2 in the second set. He didn't convert in any of them. So that will be also key for Sinner. And then another key for Sinner is he needs to be brave, like he was in the round robin match, where he in the 3rd set especially he took it to Djokovic. He played brave. He played close to the baseline. He played offensively tennis. So there you have the keys for Sinner. He needs to manage his nerves. He needs to land a lot of first serves in, over 65%. He needs to take his opportunities when he gets break match opportunities, and he needs to play courageous tennis, brave tennis, like he did in the round robin match. With all this said, do I believe Sinner will defeat Djokovic for the second time in the same week? No. I believe that Djokovic, he just will do he will do his homework in this final. He respects Sinner. He knows that Sinner is the man to beat this week, obviously, because he has not lost one single match. He knows that Sinner is playing his tennis of his life, which he said after Djokovic defeated Alcaraz in the interview, that Sinner is playing his tennis of his life. So Djokovic will be prepared for this challenge. Djokovic will be hungry. He knows that it is big stake on the line here. Every big final that Djokovic is playing on his career, it is always big stake on the line for him. He has always chance to rewrite history. He has already done he has already an unbelievable career, Novak Djokovic, and he has already a lot of records. But he chases records all the time, and this is one record that he wants to break. At the current moment, he is sharing this with Roger Federer with 6 titles each. He wants to be on top alone in winning this event for the 7th time, and I believe that he will be really, really hungry in doing that. My tennis friends all around the world, Djokovic will play more aggressive in this final than he did in the round robin match. He will play closer to the baseline in this final than he did in the round robin match. He will return better in this final than he did in the round robin match, because in the match against Sinner, he didn't return that tremendously good, according to me. He just he was solid return. I believe he broke Sinner's serve in the round robin match only one time, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me down below, because I don't believe he broke Sinner's serve more than one time in the round robin match. I believe that he will break Sinner's serve more than once in the final. That is my feeling. But I don't think that Djokovic will have an easy victory like he had against Alcaraz. I will be honest with you. I was surprised that Alcaraz lost his straight set. If Alcaraz would, I picked Alcaraz to defeat Djokovic, yeah, but I picked him to defeat. I thought that the match would be really, really close. Even if Djokovic would have defeated Alcaraz, I thought that he would do it in at least in 3 sets. But him doing it in straight sets and giving Alcaraz only 5 games, I will be honest with you, I was surprised with that. Because Alcaraz, for God's sake, is, after all, world number 2. After all, he has won 6 titles this year. And 1 Grand Slam title this year, and 2 Masters titles this year Alcaraz has won. So I didn't expect Alcaraz losing that easy against Djokovic. But I think that Sinner will give Djokovic a much better run for his money, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Sinner defeats Djokovic. I really wouldn't be surprised, because I've never seen Sinner play this good tennis. I really have not. He's on a roll. He's got that aura around him, and he has won all his 4 matches this week, so he's coming to this final with confidence. But of course, he's facing the greatest tennis players of all time, so he knows that this challenge is huge for Jannik Sinner. He knows that defeating Djokovic in the final is much harder than defeating him in a round-robin stage. So Djokovic will not have it easy, but I think that Djokovic will do a better match than he did in a round-robin match. I think he will do a better return match. I believe he will play closer to the baseline than he did in the round robin match. I believe he will do a tactical better match than he did in the round robin match. He will serve more towards Jannik Sinner's backhand, and even he will serve more body serves as well. He will avoid serving towards Jannik Sinner's forehand, because he was killed with great forehand returns that Jannik Sinner did in that round robin match. And also Djokovic will play closer to the baseline. Also Djokovic will play more bravely than he did in that round robin match, I believe. And also I believe Djokovic will be more clutcher also than he was in that round robin match against Sinner. So I think that Djokovic, when it's all said and done, I believe he will do a better match than Jannik Sinner, and I think that Djokovic will win this final tomorrow in 3 sets and win his 7th ATP Tour Finals and break that record. So that is my prediction. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.